It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the Rawdown, the number one source for all things WWE right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I am Young Anthony. Joined with me, as always, are my co-host, the MVP Marco of the Chick Foley Show, and J-Bone of Coming Down the Aisle.
You're looking at the real deal now.
What are you, J-Lo Bone?
Oh my god,
J-Lo Brown?
D-Lo Bone.
D-Lo Bone. All right, that works. Gentlemen, how are we doing? It's been a minute since I've interacted with you.
Yeah. You just decided to leave us to go to Baltimore. How's Baltimore, pal?
Yeah.
Baltimore. It was nice. I mean, you know, there's
all right, cool.
Some parts of Baltimore were nice. No, it was a good experience. It was a college thing. But I'm back here finally. Feels like years since I've seen you two, and it's been years since we've talked about wrestling. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. If you are watching or listening, make sure that you drop your likes and your comments. Get involved in the conversation because we have so much to get to. It's a big episode for us tonight, as we will be running down the crown jewel card. It's time for me to put my championship on the line, successfully defend that championship.
You're gonna lose that belt, pal.
No, I don't think I will, but we'll get there soon because we have some other news to get into tonight, and we're gonna get things started. We'll get back onto a little bit of a format. We used to, last few weeks we've kind of just been free flowing it. We'll get formatted this week, and we'll start off with all the news that you can find
outside the ropes.
Take a trip outside the ropes for you here tonight. So we're going to kick things off with a story that not a lot of people would ever think that we would see in the WWE. And it's a story that doesn't necessarily concern WWE. Well, it does, but it concerns another company, and that is Pro Wrestling Noah. Why are we talking about Pro Wrestling Noah? Didn't they just sign an agreement with All Elite Wrestling? Well, we saw that the Great Muta is going to be having his retirement match. He already got involved in an angle with Sting and Darby Allin at Grand Slam. Great moment. But there was, a lot of talk of who Great Muta's match, who's his opponent is going to be. And, well, that was revealed at a recent Noah show. There was a nice little promo package hyping it up. Who was it going to be? And then all of a sudden, we hear the familiar music.
You gotta skip right to the good part. Like it goes dun dun dun. You gotta do like the beginning. You can't just skip to
do what the fans chant.
That's how they did it though. They did the
sometimes
no one ever sang that part.
I think they're chanting.
That's the
build.
And Young Anthony. Well, if you couldn't guess by our singing, which hopefully doesn't get us copyright because it was very accurate.
God damn, pal.
Yeah, super accurate.
Nakamura Shinsuke has been chosen to be the opponent for the Great Muta. They will face off on the first day of 2023. The Great Muta versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And although this phrase has been beaten to death, the forbidden door is open.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people talking about that. Like, when WWE gets involved, it's like legit a forbidden door because they never open their doors to anybody at all. And I mean, it's happening. This is it was something that they fought for too. I was reading an interview with Shinsuke Nakamura, and it was a long process. It wasn't just like, hey, I want to wrestle Muta. Yeah, go ahead, go right ahead. I think he said it was about a month or maybe October. Maybe actually, it might have been before that. Maybe like September-ish. They started talking about it. Triple H, they made the agreement, and the Great Muta, because a lot of people are pissed off. What happened with Sting? I thought Sting was going to do something with Great Muta.
Well, he already
calm down, everyone. Don't worry, it's still happening.
It's gonna be okay.
Let the professionals handle things first, right? And then we'll let the amateurs come in and clean up afterwards.
Jeez.
Are you saying Steve Borden is not a professional?
No, I'm joking. But no, I'm talking about the company he currently works. No, I'm joking. Anyway, well, yeah,
baby.
I'm excited. I was pumped. That was the first thing I see when I opened my phone and opened up Instagram. That was the first thing that popped up. And I thought it was like one of those fake graphics.
I thought so too. I was like, wait, what's going on here? This is fake, right?
Because someone made another one with Minoru Suzuki and Sheamus.
I fell for that one.
I was like, I mean, I love Shinsuke Nakamura, but I'm all for a Sheamus Suzuki match. That would be the most brutal match that you'd ever see, probably. But it's exciting times, boys. The Forbidden Door has been kicked open, finally. We'll see.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
It's about time that we finally. So it's about time for two things. One, it's about time that WWE gets involved in cross promotional stuff. Of course, we've seen some minor instances of this. Even in recent years with more of the independent scene. Evolve, ICW. You saw a lot of kind of cross promotion with that, and it's not even just this new Triple H era that we're seeing all this happening, because it's happened before that you've seen wrestlers go back to their companies that kind of they were homegrown talents in, or doing one-off appearances. Even Triple H, I mentioned ICW. He appeared in ICW for an appearance. Paul Heyman showed up in Evolve, so you've seen a lot of this stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that it's with one of the bigger companies, not to say that, Evolve and all of that aren't, prominent companies, but we're talking about like Noah here that has a rich history. Some of the greatest Japanese wrestlers have fought in Noah. And now to put someone like Shinsuke up against the great Muta, it's really telling of like what we could potentially see from WWE going forward. I think this also, maybe kind of sweetening the pot a little bit and getting that relationship formed to potentially get the Great Muta in the Hall of Fame. I think that is also another way to look at it. So it's probably a win-win on both ends. But another way that I look at it, it's finally time that we bring some respect for Shinsuke Nakamura.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
The King of Strong Style.
Shinsuke's been my guy since I've never been a huge New Japan fan, but if there was any person to really get me hooked on what they were doing around that 2015, 2016 time period, King of Strong Styles, Shinsuke, his matches against Kota Ibushi, AJ Styles, like when he came to NXT, I think he carried over some of that prestige. He had the match with Sami Zayn on his first night, still one of the best matches in NXT history. But then, of course, he came to the main roster and he was just like neutralized awfully. And he's had, ebbs and flows along the way. Like there are some points where he's taken really seriously. There's some points where he's just a complete jobber. But I kind of hope that he is one person in particular that benefits from, I keep saying like the Triple H regime, but just a fresh management behind Shinsuke, because he's a guy that has the talent to back up giving him that spotlight, and he's not getting any younger. He's in his 40s already. He can still go, but time is ticking for him. And I think if anything, this is the perfect way to get Shinsuke back on the positive side. I wonder if we'll see WWE promoting this match though. I don't know if we'll see that much.
That's gonna be interesting to me. That's what I was kind of curious about, because I mean, this all around is a win for everybody. Win for Great Muta. It's a win for WWE. It's a win for Pro Wrestling Noah, and it's a win for Shinsuke Nakamura. There's nobody you can't lose by promoting this. Like,
No.
If the only thing that makes me curious, I'm not gonna say worried, but curious, is where this leads to on the WWE side. Yes, it will help them out, like, oh, wow, it could get people talking, oh, Forbidden Door, blah, 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 whatever. But I wonder where this leads to overseas plans with the NXT expanding. I wonder if they're trying to plant some seeds down the line, maybe with Pro Wrestling Noah, or where Pro Wrestling Noah becomes that ICW in Japan. And I know they just signed the deal, whatever, with AEW, but I don't even know what the terms are, to be honest with you. But I'm just kind of curious where it is. I guess it'll end up with probably the Hall of Fame deal, unless Triple H just wants Great Muta in the Hall of Fame, and he's just willing to do this. Okay, all right, I can see that, I guess. But to me, I think that WWE's there's going to be something else at play here on WWE side.
I agree, and it seems like it was like from what I was reading in that interview with Shinsuke, it seems like it was something that he wanted. Like, he wanted to do this. It wasn't like, it wasn't like WWE went to him and said, "Hey, Great Muta's retiring. Would you be interested?" It was like
that, pal.
It was like I think he's wrestling. I think he's one of the wrestlers too as well. I think Muta's gonna have some kind of like how Liger did in his retirement run. Like, he had a few matches before. Like, he did that Wrestle Kingdom weekend, and he had that send off. So I think this is something similar. And Liger's in the Hall of Fame. He's a part of the WWE Hall of Fame as well, deservedly. So I mean, he go back in the archives of NXT. Great match with Tyler Breeze.
But Great Muta has never had any matches in WWE.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only match he's ever had was against Tyler Breeze, which is, I mean, if you're Tyler Breeze, you can hang your hat on that. You don't have to win any WWE championships. You can just be like, you know what? I wrestled Jushin Thunder Liger, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, not even just in Japan, just in general. But same thing with Great Muta. Like, Shinsuke can say the same thing. I mean, Shinsuke, he can hang his hat on that and be like, "Hey, I wrestled the Great Muta." And if depending on how this goes, he could be that catalyst for, the Forbidden Door, if you want to use that. And we still don't know what's happening with Carl Anderson, because he's not giving that belt up. Apparently, that's what he's like. I'm not handing that over. You guys are gonna have to take that from me. So I don't know. It's just you got New Japan at play. You have Noah. I don't know. We'll see. And I think those companies want to do business with the WWE now that obviously Vince McMahon. Obviously, they probably want to do business while Vince McMahon was in power. Let's not like say Vince McMahon isn't like the genius that he is and he created all this. They would definitely do business with him. But now that there's more of an open door policy, essentially, I think they want to. I would think those two companies would want to see like what WWE has to offer to them. I mean, they offered one of their biggest stars in Shinsuke to Noah. So what's to say we don't see something else happen down the line with Noah, not with New Japan, but there might be some other things popping up in the works.
Do you see more of these? I wouldn't even say. I mean, I guess so. One-off appearances happening more often now. I mean, obviously, this took a long time to come to fruition. I think what it really comes down to is the wrestlers themselves pushing for it. Yeah. I don't see WWE going out of their way and coming up to like Noah or New Japan and being like, "Hey, we'd love to do a collaboration with you guys." I think if we are going to see more of these, it's going to be based around the wrestlers themselves being like, "Hey, I really want to do this match."
I think so.
It's going to take some time to get there, but do you think that we see more of these?
Well, I think so. Maybe not like right off the bat, but I'm going to kind of somewhat disagree with what you're saying, because I think they're going to use Noah, like I mentioned earlier, as a potential, NXT training camp type deal, like they use it for ICW. But I don't think it's going to be right away. This is just planting the seeds. Mm-hmm. I mean, we probably won't see anything Japan-wise. I mean, they don't even have NXT Europe started up, and it's almost 2023. Yeah. So I would say, at least 2024, maybe 2025, before we see NXT Japan or anything like whatever that's going to look like. But I think eventually we will see that. Like, basically, Pro Wrestling Noah will be NXT Japan, much like Evolve was here in the States.
Yeah. So I could see that, and I could see. I was actually thinking of that. What other matches could possibly happen. And I think, Anthony's right. I think it's going to be up to the superstars themselves to ignite those matches. Like, I don't think it's going to be, WWE's business model to, Forbidden Door, everything, like kind of like how AEW does. And I think for me, I think the mystique and like the unknown of that happening is much better than you seeing crossover every single week. Not that that's a bad thing, and not that that some fans like to see that. Like they like to see New Japan show up every week on AEW television. That's great. But for me, I would like something like this once or twice a year, where maybe next year we see, oh my God, Seth Rollins is going to face Will Ospreay. We're actually going to see who the best wrestler in the world is, like something like that. Or, maybe Roman Reigns faces somebody like Okada or something like that. Like maybe like you get those one-off things.
Braun Strowman's going to face the Giant Baba.
Maybe I've always wanted to see Undertaker face Evil. Maybe Undertaker will come out of retirement.
Indeed,
and face Evil. Dude, I would drop trowel for that match.
Whoa, goddamn, Mel.
Just the entrances alone between the two, Undertaker and Evil, would be pretty insane. But like I said, it's definitely to J Bone's case, it's definitely going to be years in the making. It's not going to be like a right away thing. I don't think WWE's model is to have people show up every week or have their stars go do these shows every single week. I think it's just to be.
My God, it's Otis in the
It's going to be like all the mid card wrestlers facing people in Noah. Hit row.
Is that Emma?
Oh,
my God.
Hey, that's a pretty good segue, right?
Yeah, pretty good segue indeed.
Decent segue.
It is Emma, actually. You're right.
Well, just to put a bow on this, and then we can move on. Emma was not our next topic, but we can.
Oh, my bad. I ruined
damn
it.
it.
Damn it.
I didn't even have Emma in the program. That's how much I forgot
I thought we
about
talked
it.
Okay, yeah.
But to put a bow on this, I will say, if you're, brought up right at the start, how the Forbidden Door term has just gotten, overplayed. I think the way that you look at how WWE is doing this, right, once in a while, and how AEW is doing it, that they are, more frequently bringing in people. Like we just saw Shibata show up on Dynamite, and he's going to be wrestling a match on Rampage. I think both companies are doing it right for what they are presenting on TV. WWE doesn't need to do the every, consistent partnerships with the other companies because they have three separate entities as their own: Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, if you want to look at it that way, with their own rosters, their own brands to worry about, own championships. They don't need to keep bringing in other people because then it just makes their roster even bigger than it is. Whereas you look at AEW, although they do also have an issue of having a pretty large roster, their whole premise is based on the fact that, to be an AEW fan, you're a pro wrestling fan. You have to understand like kind of the culture of wrestling and understand what's going on outside of AEW to really understand what's going on in AEW. So I'm cool with them doing the Forbidden Door pay-per-views, bringing in the New Japan guys because it works for them. I don't think that works for WWE, and that's fine too. The way that they're doing it, I think both companies are, doing well in that.
I feel like WWE's taking the boa constrictor method here, where they're just basically going out and gonna take up all the resources, wrestling resources that there are in the world, and that's how we'll take over AEW.
They're gonna be like the Independence Day movie, like the Aliens, where they just hover over like the major cities and just start taking that's what they're pretty much gonna do.
Yeah, like they're just gonna there's gonna be no import, no export. It's gonna be how the North beat the South in the Civil War.
Oh my God.
Moving on.
Yeah.
We're going to move on into our next outside the ropes topic, and stay with us because we're going to do some predictions of Crown Jewel in just a bit. But we got to talk about, I can't believe I'm bringing his name up on Rawdown, but like Mussolini.
Oh, there he is.
Coming to the Fed. So, of course, last night on Dynamite, we got the big return of Boom Boom Colt Cabana, boom, boom, Colt Cabana. In a huge surprise, we're starting to see the Elite come back on TV, although the whole gimmick is that they're erasing them from AEW. I'm still very interested to see what's going on there. Colt Cabana is back on TV. He wrestled Chris Jericho for the ROH title. Ace Steel got fired. So that leaves only one person in this whole situation, and that is, of course, Larry the Dog. No, just kidding. That's Larry the Dog's owner, CM Punk. So there was a tweet today from WrestleVotes, and he basically said that WWE took notice of of Colt Cabana's return yesterday. They definitely took notice of it.
That means entirely nothing.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I do want to get to this comment from Ivan. Shout out to Ivan in Circle of Debate. It will take some time for Noah and WWE to work together. This will be a time thing upon Muda's request, who wanted Nakamura. So let's hope this relationship can continue moving forward. I agree. I don't think you'll see anything major right now, but you never know. And also, hey yo to Tyson and hey yo to the King himself. Both of these guys are in the comments. Keep the comments going because we're talking Mr. Phil Brooks himself.
Wow, look at that. We said the same thing.
Wow, look at us.
Yeah, shout out to Circle of Debate. You know, they were on the Turnbuckle Debate this week. So.
Yeah, Chris Kennedy. First time on the debate. Shout out to him. All right, Marco, you say that this Punk stuff means nothing. Continue.
That tweet means nothing.
The tweet means nothing. All right.
Who read into that tweet and said that?
Well, clearly we did.
No, clearly you did, pal.
Well, clearly I did.
You did.
No, honestly, I did not read it. Well, first of all, let me clear the air. I do not want Punk in WWE. I think there's no reason that he should be in WWE. And also, I don't think that I doubt Triple H.
You're lying.
This is my camera. My camera.
I had to do it. I'm sorry.
I gotta do
sorry.
it. My camera.
Well,
Anyway.
I'll do it.
This cameraman right here, this is my cameraman.
That's all, young Anthony. I just had to do it.
Roman Reigns is the unofficial fourth member of the Rawdown.
He really is.
But yeah, I didn't read into that tweet. I did read I'm not even sure if I didn't check the sources of these like Triple H conversations that, I guess people are asking him if he would ever consider CM Punk back in the WWE, and basically said like everything would have to be like the stars would align, like everything there would have to be a reason he was coming back,
which there won't be a reason.
And I'm assuming if they did bring him back, it wouldn't be under a multi-year contract. It would be under like a one-off like match or like a storyline or something. That he'd be gone. If I'm WWE and I'm really considering bringing him back, it's just going to be to tie up loose ends.
What if they brought him back and they said, look, you'll come back for one match, you'll get your main event spot.
Ooh.
And last minute they change it and they kick him off the card.
We're gonna give you that main event spot at WrestleMania. Dude, imagine if they bring him back and he's the one that dethrones Roman Reigns.
CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
Dude, what would
you can even wear my blazer.
you have the hurricane show up. All right, listen here, pal. This is what we're gonna do.
Nobody is bigger than this business.
It's bigger.
No one is bigger than this business.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
But let's paint the scenario. Imagine if they did bring him back, and that one-off thing was to dethrone Roman Reigns. What would the internet wrestling community do? Like, what would that do to? I couldn't even imagine. What side would you be on? Would you be on the WWE side? Like, why the hell would you do that? Or would you be like, I don't even know.
I don't even know. Because you'd have your WWE loyalists be like, whoa, what the hell? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And then your AEW guys probably at the same time, whoa, what the hell?
And then you find out that it was Roman Reigns' request that he wanted his reign to end by CM Punk. Imagine if you found that out.
Hear me out.
Is that what it was?
There's no way that Triple H is going to bring back this empty-headed fuck in CM Punk.
Yeah, no,
right?
definitely not. No.
And there's no way CM Punk
Nope.
is going to agree to work for that empty-headed fuck Triple H.
I just don't see a world where he not only fits the culture backstage, and that goes without saying, but like even talking about it from an on-air perspective, where does he fit into the company? Period. Like, I guess you can do Punk and Punk and Roman, but like, I don't know, especially after everything.
Honestly, I don't want to see it. And look, here's one thing I kind of realized, actually, like last couple of days though, WWE's, and finally they have started to make a step to this. Although they've got a couple matches that are head scratcher, but they're finally starting to move to a point where they're putting young talent over. Younger talent over. This does not fit into their business model right now by bringing in CM Punk.
No,
I mean, honestly, we could kind of talk about it. I don't know if we'll see like a John Cena or CM Punk, or maybe we'll see The Rock. But as far as WrestleMania this year, I don't think we're going to see where it was like lined up for all these pseudo legends and legends have their one-off matches. I think that this WrestleMania is going to look way different.
Yeah,
we're gonna see young talent put over. We'll have the Rock match or whatever, but other than that, it's going to look way different. And I just don't see CM Punk fitting into the current WWE business model.
No.
So
now I will say,
hear me out.
If Punk does come back, it's not going to happen. I will say, if Punk comes back, the only situation that I can see him coming back is if obviously puts the ego aside, gets on the same terms as Triple H. If he agrees to do business with them and, signs maybe a year deal, few year deal, there is a lot of potential for some good stories with Punk. And I think that's where AEW they didn't fail with CM Punk, because the way you kind of look at how they were stretching out Punk's time in AEW was you start with the younger guys, you kind of build your way, and then you start doing. If we were at this point right now with Punk still, in the company, you would start seeing Punk feud with a lot of the bigger names that he hadn't feud with already, like your Danielsons and your Omegas. I think what WWE can get right is knock out all of the big names right off the bat. You have feuds with Punk and Seth, Punk and Cody, Punk and Roman. And there is some, room for that if they really wanted to do it. I just don't think that he fits in. Like,
he doesn't.
There's no need for Punk and Seth right now. There's no need for, you could do a Punk and Cody feud, and I think that kind of fits what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But there's no, it's not a necessity right now.
The biggest tell of this is if you look back last night, and this might be where that tweet's talking about. But when Colt Cabana came out, and I saw this all over the internet, people were ecstatic for Colt Cabana. You heard little pockets of CM Punk chants, but those Colt Cabana chants were running wild, brother. Mm-hmm. He was like Hogan in WrestleMania 3, pressing that big nasty giant dude, No, but I mean, to be serious, he was, there was no CM Punk chants, as far as like overtaking, the situation. That's what I was like whenever Colt came out, I was like, oh shit, CM Punk chants are going to start happening or something. And when they started, I was like, but they didn't, like I said, for the most part. So maybe that's what they're talking about. Like they saw what happened with Colt, and they're like, this guy, he's done.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I could see that. Actually makes a lot more sense. But I think whoever tweeted that was just trying to be like cryptic, like, oh, they're listening, they're definitely watching. Oh, yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. There was no real reaction, or a reaction for CM Punk chants, like you said, while Colt Cabana. But the other part of that too was he just getting did he just get that reaction because of what happened? Is he going to get that reaction every single week?
Good point.
I mean, probably not, but I don't think we're going to see CM Punk chants either.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll.
You know,
I think the crowd has kind of just evolved past Punk at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
The only reason why I wanted to bring up this story, though, is because it was from WrestleVotes, and WrestleVotes is probably the most reliable WWE source. You know, if this story was coming out of Zero News, then, you know, we wouldn't be talking about, you know, this.
well,
but like,
actually, Rawdown is the most reliable WWE source.
True.
that's true. All right, so WrestleVotes is the second most reliable WWE
Right.
source. And, you know, majority, I would say 90% of what they say does come to fruition. Of course, that him posting something like that is not saying that
Yeah.
Punk is going to come back. It's just the idea of, you know, maybe there's more rumblings to this than we think. There's a comment from Ivan. He says, Punk just needs to retire. No point in coming back to WWE for what? To hear him bash AEW, trolling them. And then what's he not going to get his main event at WrestleMania? It's either he stays in AEW, make it a story, or bye.
He's gonna promo Cody. If you want to go back to the bingo halls, pal, go back.
But they're looking. They're kind of like, I was reading that they're kind of looking into buying his contract out. Is that is that what they're looking to do?
Yeah.
AEW.
I believe
That's
that
the
was the last
rumor.
I heard. Who knows?
And my other thing too is Tony Khan going to let this dude go
Yeah.
after this?
Yeah.
You think?
I mean, this is a topic for for a whole nother discussion, because we can get
Yeah.
into that for an hour. But like,
A whole
I
hour?
could,
60 minutes.
yeah, whole hour of it. But yeah, I think he's at the point where he has to, and I think he's coming to terms with that. Another comment from Ivan, Circle of Debate. Twitter that WWE is watching was pointless. Was just trying to get attention. And also you heard Alvarez saying something big is happening on Dynamite, which is BS. That's a lie. I mean, not a lie. That's not true. Jeff Jarrett. That was pretty big.
Pretty big. It's pretty big.
Also Shibata, pretty big.
Yeah.
Be it who Shibata is.
I can't
I don't know, man.
believe they're putting it on Rampage. It's a head scratcher, but that's a whole nother story.
That's a head scratcher. Yeah, I feel like they're stacking up this Rampage for some reason. I understand that, like, you know, the ratings have been down, but I don't know. To throw Shibata on there, I'll watch it. Just feel like he needs some more build there.
Yeah.
Marco's like, yawn.
I'm feeling a little Ucey. I'm gonna probably watch SmackDown instead. Call it a night.
Need some more oos.
Yeah, there's not enough Oos on Rampage for me to watch.
Ucey.
We did. I'm not sure if you have this. Let me throw it out there. Hell in a Cell. We had to talk about that just in case it's not on your itinerary.
You know what? Here's what we'll do. We'll bring it back. We're bringing all these segments back. Do we still have it?
Well, we did it last week. But
we did it last week. The Hell in a Cell.
Well, they're actually now it's actually happening. If you we kind of alluded
okay,
to
well,
it.
bring the welcome back.
But Triple H, yeah, let's go, let's do it.
Welcome back.
Welcome! Where the hell have you been? I'm back! Hello there. I'm back.
I'm going back to the big show.
Just when I thought I was out, they put me back in.
That last one is great.
Real quick, Ivan says Shibata was big, but not Jarrett.
All right.
I'm gonna go. I
gotta give him it. I gotta give him.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Jarrett might be one of the most important signings that AEW has,
especially
this year. Period.
Especially the position that he's in.
I think
now,
it's the biggest one. Yeah.
the position that he has behind the scenes. Yes, definitely.
If it was just an on-screen capacity, I would say it's a huge signing. Because of what he's doing behind the scenes, it makes it 10 times bigger. So Ivan, I have to disagree with you on that.
Not even because we're WWE sports entertainment chills. It's that Jarrett return last night was bigger than Shibata. You can't even. You don't have to be a smark. You don't have to be a smark. You can admit that Jarrett that was a way bigger surprise.
Do you think Jarrett just had a problem working for Triple H? He just asked to be like released. He was
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, because
Rawdown he wanted to work.
Rawdown took his spot.
Did he want to work for Vince? Like the whole situation is just weird to me. Like
yeah, because he's there one day and gone the next. He got fired on his day off, pretty much. How the hell are you gonna get fired on your day off?
That's a whole other drop right there.
But yeah.
Ivan wants us to debate it. Maybe I'm sure that'll be on the debate on the next episode for sure.
What was a bigger return, Shibata or Jarrett?
Oh no, just Jarrett in particular. And I think that goes to show you how big the story is.
Yeah, I don't think that's a debate.
It's huge. It's huge.
It's a huge signing.
It's something.
Do you think we see Jarrett and Lethal versus Sting and Darby at Full Gear?
Probably.
Man. Oh, baby.
Yeah,
I'll
baby.
be in for that, baby.
Let's fucking go.
It's the biggest signing that AEW's ever had. And you can
the only way
that
the one thing that I ask if they do that at Full Gear is Jarrett needs to do his full entrance from the Ric Flair retirement match. That he just like is getting up in fans' faces, like running around the stage, throwing like drinks on people. Well, I need to see that. If that Jarrett comes to AEW, it is the biggest signing in company's history.
Well, yeah, I mean, you see this promo last night. He said he's in AEW to bury everybody, pretty much.
Yeah, he was burying the cameramen too.
Yeah, he's going to bury the cameraman, bury all the
Andrew and this guy from production. Like he was rambling a bit too much there.
You can choke on that, slap nuts. Love it.
Darby was laying in a pool of his own blood. Did you see that?
Did you get the back of his head split open from that guitar shot? Kind of like Cody, reminiscent of the infamous Cody chair shot.
Indeed.
He freaking split the back of his head open. He was bleeding all over.
I just realized that welcome backdrop has just turned into Jeff Jarrett coming to AEW. I think we'll leave it at that because we got to move on. We're already 40 minutes into the show and we got some predictions to get to, folks. Yeah. Crown Jewel is this weekend.
If it happens.
Yeah. If you've been following the fake news, there was a report that Crown Jewel will be moved to the Performance Center at 7 p.m. on Saturday. That is unfortunately false.
Well, there is real news that there may be an imminent attack.
Well, that's the reason why, of course. I guess we can start with that. We can kind of break that down a little bit before we get into the predictions. What are your thoughts on the show still happening with the imminent attack? Now, I should say that there is another report that says that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has informed WWE that the attack, if it does happen, is supposedly supposed to be very far away from Riyadh, where the show is supposed to be. So, 2 thumbs up there. But
the Duke missile's going over there to whatever town. It's fine.
Don't worry. You don't hear.
Embrace the vision.
That's the Prince talking to Triple H. Embrace my vision.
That is you talk about like heat-seeking missiles backstage. Well, you got one in front of the stage, pal.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if I'm in attendance, if I'm performing, I am frightened out of my mind. I'll say you that much. That's me anyway.
And no one's pulled out of the show yet, right? Because you remember a few years ago, Cena pulled out of the show. Daniel Bryan, I think Sammy just wasn't allowed to compete. Like, has anyone pulled out yet?
Not that I've seen.
No.
Do you think anyone will?
I am going to be sad Sammy won't be there again, probably. Most likely. He will
That's
be
a good point.
Yep.
Show. That is true. I mean,
this is a problem. This is why you just don't. Never mind. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
This subject. I mean, it stinks because it's like wrestling related, but at the same time, it's like, what are you doing?
This is why you don't do business. You don't do business this way.
You don't do. Yeah, this is why you try to stay away from that business. But money's involved.
It feels like It feels like the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia just wants WWE in there just to mock us, to be honest with you, if you want me to be real. So
I enjoy destroying lives.
That you do.
yeah. Anyways, we'll leave it at that.
Regardless, we'll leave it at that, but we won't leave it at that for long because we have to get into these predictions. We're going to start. I'm just going to go around on some of these matches. We'll start off with a match that we saw at Extreme Rules, although it wasn't a great match. This time around, there's a new stipulation added. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross 2 is happening in a steel cage match. I think this has some interesting implications here. Drew is on a bit of a losing streak if we're talking about big matches. Ever since the Roman loss, he's kind of been just, floundering around that upper mid-card status on SmackDown. Karrion Kross is, he returned. He got a big win over Drew at Extreme Rules. And, I think the feud so far has been fine. I will send it off to you, gentlemen, to start us off on this one, because I feel like this is a bit of a difficult one to predict.
I don't think it is.
All right, then go ahead.
I'm taking Drew on this all the way.
Ooh. Really?
He's got to get his dubs back.
You're going 50-50 on us.
Might as well,
Might as well. I think I'll also go Drew because he can't just keep losing. Like, he needs a win at some point. And I feel like I think they'll protect Karrion. I think that's the whole point of this match, is to predict Karrion, don't give him a pinfall. So to put a steel cage stipulation on it, Drew can just escape the cage. Doesn't need to, I think the biggest takeaway is Karrion will be kept strong on this match. But I think Drew will come away with the victory.
Yeah, I think so too. The idea of the steel cage obviously is to keep Scarlett out of Drew's hair, but obviously if he climbs over that cage and tries to make the escape, she can still stop him from doing so. Or he can go through the door. That's the other thing.
She can flash him. That might stop him.
That is. Oh, I mean, not where that match is taking place. She better not do that. She might not make it.
Goddamn, pal.
She might not make it home.
Talking about heat-seeking missiles.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But yeah. No, I'm definitely going with him. And like Anthony said, it saves. It saves. What do you call it? Karrion the embarrassment of taking a 1-2-3 pinfall. That way, if like Drew goes to the door or climbs over the cage, it's not a 1-2-3 pin. It's a Drew barely escaped the grasp of Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm picking Drew.
All right, all in agreement on our first pick.
Yawn.
We'll see if that continues as we move on to our next match. This one is for the SmackDown, the Unified. I forget that they're unified. The Unified Tag Team Championships. It is the Usos going up against the Brawlin' Brutes of Ridge Holland and Butch. I will start us off on this one. Although I would love to see the Brawling Brutes get the titles, I don't think you see it here. Usos are going to retain. There's no reason for the Usos to lose their tag titles in Saudi Arabia, 12 o'clock on a Saturday, especially with Sheamus not being there. I feel like if you have a championship win for the Brawling Brutes, everyone needs to be there for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think there's a time and a place to take the titles off of the Usos. They built them up a lot. There's no reason why they should lose here. And I say the Usos will retain. J-Bone, you have a smirk on your face. Go right ahead.
I want to say them. I want to say it.
Say it. Say it. Help me
Make
retain.
the prediction. Go ahead. Feel froggy.
Feel froggy. Feel froggy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Take a risk. Put your neck on the line.
I'm taking a risk. That's it, pal. I'm saying new tag team champions, the Brawling Brutes, and with the extra point, when we got the extra point, Jey Uso takes the pin.
Damn!
Jey Uso takes the pin.
Yeah.
Oh.
So who do you got taking the pin?
Oh, all right.
I forgot to mention we were doing that.
I'll have. Who's taking the pin and who's the one that pins?
No, yeah. Who's taking the pin?
Who takes the pin? I'll say I don't know. Butch takes the pin. Why not? Marco, go ahead. I mean, is there any reasoning that you want to give for picking the Brawling Brutes here?
I think it's gonna kind of start with this breaking up of the bloodline. The start of it.
You see, that's hard to do because Sammy's not going to be in Riyadh.
That's exactly why. Because Roman's gonna be like, Sammy, where were you at, bud? You're supposed to help out the Usos, and then at the same time, he's gonna go to Jay and he's like, Jay, I told you, you gotta stay champions. We gotta keep the bloodline in check. I don't know. That's just me. I think the fact that they have a missing Sammy is just gonna. I know it's way out there. Don't get me wrong. I know exactly, but I feel I'm looking at this card. Just nothing's really just grabbing me, and I feel like this could be something that you just a shocker, or just sort of something that would make the event memorable.
Marco, go ahead.
I was gonna say the Brawling Brutes because I don't want the New Day's longest reign to end, but it seems like they are going that route with the Usos taking over that.
How many more days do they have?
I think they're close. I think they're coming up on it. I think maybe at the end close to the end of this month. I think maybe.
Oh.
Well, I don't know
it somehow.
However, I know the New Day's talk about how they want to stop them from doing it. So I'm assuming they're keeping the titles on the Usos to have the New Day and the Usos have one more go around for them to try to stop the longest reign from happening. So I'm going to go with the Usos. I don't see any developments happening at Crown Jewel, as far as advancements in any bloodline storylines for me anyway.
Yeah.
Without I mean, I'm not sure if Heyman's going to be there either, but without Sammy, you can't. The bloodline's at a that storyline's at a stance. It's at a pause. You can't.
Well, I think they're at a disadvantage a little bit. He's been their good luck charm. That's kind of what I'm.
It's difficult to do that though. I know what you mean, not having him there, but it's when Sammy physically isn't allowed to be in the country for an event like that. It's tough to kind of tie those loose story ends together.
But do you really want to put that out there? His personal history.
People know that though. They know him.
I don't think they address Sammy not being there. Period. I think they'll say they might do a pre-recorded something. Maybe they just attack Sammy on SmackDown to write him off.
No, but I think people know that he can't go into that. I think
right, but you're talking about a casual audience who a lot of them don't. So you need to find a way to.
And you don't want to tie that into his character, Sami Zayn. That's just. It's just.
So they got to be careful with how they do it, but I think there's in some way that they write him off so that he isn't on the show this
I think it'll be something comedic, kind of like how they did with Jay and Jimmy when they were in Canada. Jay and Jimmy, they have that personal issue where they couldn't go into the country. I think they'll make it a comedic thing, maybe Sammy forgot his ticket, or maybe Jay mishandles Sammy's ticket, his flight ticket. He that something stupid like that. It's not going to be him getting
that actually pretty funny.
It's going to be him giving the wrong Uber or something like that. He doesn't make it to the airport. It's going to be something dumb like that, and they'll continue.
He's Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, like that. Oh my, yeah, there you go, Home Alone. Maybe that's what they'll do. Maybe Sammy will be
the bloodline's running through the airport. Run, Rudolph.
Yeah.
Marco, who takes the pin, by the way?
I'm gonna go Ridge.
Ridge.
All right.
Who'd you say, Anthony?
I said Butch.
Okay.
Because he's little.
Butch.
He's a little guy. Is that why you picked Butch?
Yeah, he's a little guy.
All right. Well, that's a good separation right there.
Gotta watch it.
All right. Next.
Let's move on to our next match here, and it is one of two women's matches on the card, and it is for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Asuka and Alexa Bliss, your new champions, which we should mention, take on and defend their championships against Damage Control. Before we get into talking about our predictions for this match, Asuka and Alexa are your new women's tag champs. Thoughts? What are they doing here?
I don't care.
It's the titles.
It's starting to hurt Io Sky and Dakota Kai at this point.
Yeah. They weren't really doing. I mean, not anything on them, but they weren't really doing anything with the titles. It's the women's tag titles, like in general, is just
it's just a cursed title.
It's not even that. It's just they don't have there's no depth to it.
There's never been.
There's no roster involved with it. It's just random people being put together and put in a tag team, and then they go for it's like there's no established tag teams for the women there.
Well, like it's not that there's no depth, because I still think that the women's division is very strong. It's just the fact that they haven't put the effort into building up those teams.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah, there's no there's no tag team division in the women's locker room. We'll say that. That's what I'm going to say. It doesn't seem like it's kind of like an afterthought almost.
They just need just need to do away with this division.
Even now, like even with the not to go off the rails, but even like Dana Brooke, she did an interview. She expressed that she's campaigning to transition the 24/7 championship into a women's intercontinental championship, like a mid card, which I think they should have. I think they should have a mid card title and that break up. Just get rid of the women's tag team division and make a solid mid card division for the women.
The mid card division for the women only works if there's no brand split. That's the only way that that's why you have your Raw champion and you have your SmackDown champion, because there's anywhere from 10 to 15 people in each division, and what are you going to have? Like your Raw Women's Championship, and you have 6 people fighting for the main title, and then you have 5 people fighting for the mid-card title, and then you have to do the other thing on the other brand. That's where it gets complicated. Yeah. So I would say it just comes down to the brand split. Like, I'm fine with them having just the Raw Women's title and the SmackDown Women's title. I'm even fine with them having the women's tag team titles. It's just the fact that you have to put the emphasis on that title and build up your teams, or it's not going to work. If you keep doing these makeshift, I will say, Asuka and Alexa Bliss, they have built up as a credible tag team to the point where it makes sense for them to hold on to the tag team titles.
Yep.
Although, taking it off Damage Control, that's a whole nother situation. But when you're talking about Aaliyah and Raquel Gonzalez taking the titles, it's that's where it gets kind of, gets dumb of them not, putting the emphasis on the division. So I think there is a place for the women's tag team championships. They just need to put the emphasis on them. But
why are we talking so long about the women's tag match?
Honestly, that's a great question.
Well, because
it's our prediction and get this over.
It's something that needs to be like not talked about. It's something that needs to be discussed, because it's just
that is I would say the women's tag team titles have been a flaw ever since Triple H's came.
Not even just in general.
Well, in general, but that's one thing that he hasn't fixed. He's fixed. Mid-card titles. He's fixed a lot of the little things, but women's tag, I mean, you put it on Aaliyah and Raquel, you give it to Damage Control. Damage Control really do nothing with the titles. Now you give it to Alexa and Asuka. There's definitely not a lot of great stuff happening.
I'm picking Alexa and Asuka to retain.
All right. I am also picking Alexa and Asuka to retain the titles.
Yeah.
Who eats the pin? I'm gonna go EO.
I don't know. J-Bone, pick for me.
I'm gonna.
EO.
All right, EO.
I'm going.
EO takes the pin.
I'm going Dakota. Takes a pin.
All right, there you go.
Takes the pin. So we're all in agreement on this one too,
Except for the pins.
except for the pins. The pins are going to be the tiebreakers. But
yeah.
all right, meh.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, let's move on to what I would say is one of the two pretty big matches on this card. And then we'll take a break after this. But we got Brock and Bobby. Is this the second match that they've had? Singles match, I believe?
Yes.
The third. The second, yes.
Second.
This is the second match. Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley 2. Although we were pretty critical about the reasoning for this match happening, aka none. I will say that they've built up this match pretty well, and that's just by letting these two beat the hell out of each other.
What did he do that was so great?
Well, first of all, the segments of them just brawling, that was cool.
Yeah,
I liked it.
They don't need to talk.
I don't think there's necessarily the story's been built up for years that Bobby wants to fight Brock.
Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit?
Nah, I actually like this match because it's going to be an actual match as opposed to babyface Brock versus heel Bobby Lashley. That match was not. It was like a 5-minute
and being
suplex.
a filler for
it was like a filler.
Advance the Roman story. Yeah,
this one's going to be a legit
I don't think
an actual
so.
match.
I think. Well, I'll just go ahead and give my prediction right now. I think Brock's going to run there in there because he's been on a little bit of a losing streak because of the Roman stuff. He's gonna go in there 5 minutes, kick ass, leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna
5 minutes.
I'm gonna say the opposite of that.
Ooh, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a 5-minute match.
Oh, all right.
I don't know. I'll just make the prediction. Bobby Lashley's gonna win.
Wow.
Brock Lesnar has no. I don't think if he's not going after the title, it's a payday match and then he's gone. I don't see him coming back in anytime soon. Anyway,
he's got to keep. They got to keep Brock happy.
Yeah, to pay him money.
Yeah,
a lot of money to wrestle
and
lose.
I don't think it's about that necessarily. He don't look like a loser either. So
you put over if they're trying to build Bobby Lashley. Like as this like monster type dude.
Well, where does Bobby go from there? Go back to the U.S. title?
Maybe the champion, maybe the Universal Championship. Who knows? We don't know what's happening after Logan Paul. Who else is in contendership for Roman's titles after Logan Paul? Who was in that spot before?
Sammy. I think Sammy's going to be facing him in the Royal Rumble.
One thing to always keep in mind when it comes to WWE is they can build up a credible challenger for a championship very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I think Bobby takes the loss here. It needs to be a long match, though. I need long in terms of like a Brock match to make up for what happened at the Royal Rumble. Give him anywhere from 15 to 18 minutes, and I'll be happy with it. If Bobby
it'll probably be 15, if anything. I don't think
it'll
be 18.
I'll take 15.
That's like an Iron Man match, pal.
You think it's hot? It's gonna be hot there.
No, that ain't a knee slapper, buddy.
I was waiting to use that one. Yeah, give me 15 minutes. Both guys will look strong. I'm gonna give it to Brock, but I do think that Bobby is going to be in a match with Roman soon for the championship.
I think so.
Because there's nothing else that he can go to after this. It is, we saw Rey Mysterio become a challenger for the IC title after one match. You don't think they can build up Bobby Lashley to be a Universal Championship contender? Easy. Just give him
I think they can, but I just don't think they're going that way.
I think so.
I think they'll have to be smart with it because you're also going into war games. I don't know. I think we'll see I think it'll happen at the Rumble. I could see it happening at the Rumble. Bobby and Roman.
Yeah.
Sammy and Roman, to me, I've already said it. I'm sticking to it. I could see that happening at WrestleMania.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you know my prediction for, if you listen to the show last week, my prediction is Jay and Roman. If Rock falls through
for Mania,
the numbers don't lie.
Yeah. Apparently, you didn't listen last week about my whole.
No, he didn't.
I haven't listened.
I wrote out this whole scenario, and it actually is coming to fruition. If you watched the last week, just to plant the seeds of Jay undermining Roman. No, that didn't happen this past Friday.
No, it did, but I still think it's. I smell setup. I smell collusion.
I don't see Roman and Jay going. First of all, I don't see. There are people that are predicting that Jay is going to take this title off of Roman. If that happens,
it's enough to get me to the boiling point. Yeah.
It's basically like a full circle thing where the whole bloodline thing started.
Yeah, it's a full circle with Jay Uso. Like, let's be real. Like, you're going to give me one of the longest modern day championship reigns to lose to Jay Uso? Jay Uso's great. He's really coming to his own over the last few years. But we're talking about the longest championship reign to Jay Uso?
You, the audience, are quite frankly tired of having your intelligence insulted.
Jay Uso.
Wait, didn't someone just say like 5 minutes ago that WWE is very good at building championship contenders?
We're talking about Bobby Lashley compared to a tag team competitor in Jay Uso.
They could do it.
I'm sure they could do it, but not at WrestleMania.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I could see Sammy and Roman. If it's not Roman and Rock, it's got to be Roman and Sammy.
Everyone's hanging up on like Sammy being the one that's going to get kicked out of the bloodline. See, I think it's opposite. I think it's going to be a bloodline member, like someone in the family that's going to get kicked out of the bloodline. That everyone's like, Sammy's the obvious choice. He's not blood related. He's expendable. You got to think outside the box sometimes.
It's time to shake things up around here.
That's my prediction. That's going to be an actual bloodline member. Like,
where I could see Roman and Jay happening? You want to know where I can see Roman and Jay?
But I'm not good enough to call Backlash.
You put that on Backlash. You put that on WrestleMania Backlash. You don't put that on WrestleMania. You put that on WrestleMania Backlash.
It was SummerSlam 2023. Jay and Roman.
My God.
And Jay takes the titles.
Anybody want to see 2005 Sammy?
What's good in the hood?
Oh my God.
I just love the unpredictable environment that the bloodline storyline is in, because they can literally go
I think
anyway.
it's the best storyline going on in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you put the title on the Jay Uso.
I mean, we've seen worse things happen, pal.
We have. We have. But given the circumstances, I don't know. But I think everyone gave their predictions for this match, right? For tying back into what we were talking about.
Yep.
Bobby and Brock.
I'm going Bobby. You guys are going
this
Brock,
is the first match that we're
Bobby Brock.
Bobby Brock.
All right.
Oh, no. Bobby Brock. I'm giving it to Brock.
Oh, you're giving it to Brock. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was my whole point. You give him let Brock win here and just easily put him back into the Universal title picture. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
But alas, it is time for us to take a break from these predictions because, we've got a lot of stuff to get to, and we're already an hour into the show. But we already got outside the ring. Let's get inside the ring.
Collar and elbow.
Hey, I'm feeling Ucey juicy.
So both of these, well, I'll say all three of these topics that we will discuss came from SmackDown. SmackDown was a pretty eventful show, even if it happened on FS1.
Yeah,
rightfully so. You know, you have to watch the Astros and the Phillies, which I'm missing right now. I'll do a live score check. It's okay.
I'm touching my cap right now for a sticky substance. You don't see it if you're.
The Astros didn't cheat that way, you dumbass. They cheated with trash cans. Get your facts straight.
Look, let me readjust my piece real quick on my chest, and let me get back into the topic at hand.
Yeah. When's ever going to realize that all sports are predetermined?
Who's banging on the trash cans back there? Be quiet.
If you've been
on the show here.
If you watch enough wrestling and you watch, then you transfer to like any NFL game, any boxing match, any basketball. It's all predetermined, folks. Nothing's won on the
other. Talking about
it's 1-1 tied top of third.
Talking about sticky substances, the Bloodline seems to be in a sticky situation. That wasn't a great transition.
No, that wasn't at all. No,
not my best work. So of course, Roman forces Jay and Sammy to work it out. That does not happen. Sammy apologizes for everything, and Jay tells him to get his hand out of his face. And Sammy,
my dog this, my dog that.
He goes on to say,
I hate your beard. I hate your hair. I hate your face.
My dog this, my dog that.
My dog that.
My dog.
And then Sammy, gets a little fiery in him. He goes, the tribal chief just wants peace. And Jay just screams, man, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief says. And Roman Reigns.
What a great reaction.
The camera shot of the century.
Of the millennium. The
Roman
millennium.
Reigns.
Yeah, that's a head pop because he was just like not paying attention. He was whoop, like a dog. You hear call dogs like, whoop, what?
And the crowd reaction said it all.
So great.
But go ahead.
I'm sorry. This is like by far. I actually showed this to my wife. She I've said this before. She doesn't watch wrestling.
I showed this to my girlfriend,
and I showed this to my wife as well.
I explained to her the situation, ahead of time to get as far as like what the dynamic was going on, and she popped. Yeah. And just a little teaser for this week. I actually had my brother-in-law on this week. He does not watch wrestling at all.
Ooh.
And I showed him this segment as well, too. So you get a live reaction to that. So it was fantastic, man. I've watched this thing like 4 or 5 times at least.
Same.
The thing about this, too, is people are forgetting not even forgetting. I'm not sure if anyone's picking this up, but Sami Zayn, the dynamic between Sami Zayn and Jay, right? Jay obviously hates Sami Zayn's guts. He does not want him anywhere near him or his bloodline brethren, right? But when there's a time when Roman Reigns is gonna probably kick the shit out of Jay, Sami's the one that jumps in between and protects Jay, which is what that's he's done that twice already.
Well,
he did that before where Roman Reigns was in Jay Uso was getting out of line, and then Sami jumped in and said, "Hey, don't worry, Jay's just he's not feeling himself, blah blah blah," and then he did it again this time. So that's a storyline in itself. That's the intricacy of that that storyline. It's this guy hates your guts. He doesn't want to have anything to do with you. But you still put yourself in the midst of even possibly getting beat up by Roman Reigns. That's what everyone's waiting for, is that one time where Sami jumps in and stops Roman from doing something to Jay, and then Roman hauls off and hits him or something. But it's happened twice already. So where does that that just it's just unexplainable why he does that?
It is explainable. It's actually pretty easily. That's why I think Sammy's the one that's going to get screwed here, because he has this blind love for the bloodline that he's just willing to do anything and everything for him, including go to bat with the one guy that hates him, and that's Jey Uso. He just absolutely loves the bloodline. He bleeds for the bloodline, literally, So I think that's why Roman's going to pick apart that weakness and use it against him, which is why we're going to see that match down the line.
I can't believe that I wasn't on board with Sammy joining the Bloodline when it first happened. I don't know if, like, when this first happened, I was originally like Sammy's so good on his own. Like, he's doing his like great liberator character. Like, why do you have to put him with the it just shows like there was nothing for him. I don't know how this came about. I don't know who is working on this story. If there's anyone outside of just those guys working on it, I don't know where we're going with this. This is hands down the best story going right now in wrestling. This might be what's better than this.
I actually like the JS stuff a lot too. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it's the best, but I mean, I think there's a lot of great things in wrestling, you know. And I like the JAS storyline that's going on. I like the MJF Moxley stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're equally all as good, you know. I wouldn't put one of the above the other. So
yeah,
I would, but I could see why not.
Yeah.
I could, you know. But
I would put this one over all of those because it's been going on longer than all of those.
No, JS has actually been going on longer. The JS,
what, the ROH stuff?
JS, no, just the whole with the versus Blackpool Comic Club.
Oh, wait,
no way! What are you? What?
Whoa!
That's been going on since May.
Yeah,
this has been going on for 2 years.
Oh, you're just talking about. You're talking
about the actual storyline of the Bloodline.
No, I'm talking about. I'm just talking about Sammy with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fairly new. I thought you were talking about. I was talking about the Bloodline storyline as a whole. Is probably the best storyline by far, just because it's been going on for so long.
Well,
I think for the people that have said WWE doesn't do long-term booking, this has been a 2-year, almost 3-year storyline.
Yeah.
So suck it, Marks.
But so back to what I was saying, like, as far as stories right now, I personally think this is the best story. As far as you don't know where this is going, there is a lot of different ways that it can go. All parties involved look great, and it feels natural. And also another point that I wanted to bring up, I think this moment in particular, everyone's talking about, Jay and Roman laughing, and I think that's a great part of the segment as well. But
the whole everyone was laughing.
Yeah,
everyone was laughing. I don't think the moment of Roman looking up is getting enough credit, because that to me is the biggest switch that we've seen in Roman's character, because it's finally one of his own family members turning on him, like a family member who was devoted to him and then finally flipped the switch on him. I think this is the first instance, and I would have to go back and think, but I think this is the biggest instance that we have seen of like a crack in the Bloodline. Because so far it's been like, you could say Jay and Sammy has been a crack in the Bloodline, sure, but realistically, you weren't going to get any like real dissension showing until it came to Roman. This is the first time that one of the members of the Bloodline is challenging Roman, saying just something as simple as, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief thinks. That's huge. That's a huge little wrinkle in that story. And I don't know. I think that it just perfectly showcases how good this angle was. Is this the segment of the year? In WWE, we'll say WWE. Yeah. I think AEW has a lot of candidates as well.
Yeah, hands down.
The only segment of the year that AEW has is that media scrum. That segment of the year for me. There's nothing topping that.
That proves that you're empty-headed fuck, Marco.
Yeah, I don't care what anyone does in the ring. I don't care what fire promo MJF does. Nothing is topping that media scrum.
I'm tired, and I just want the media scrum.
He's eating muffins. He's no, there's nothing topping that. Sorry. I love it.
Yeah.
But
I think this is the best segment in WWE in the past 5 years.
Yeah, that
Ooh.
they just.
I would have to think, but
Yeah, and someone I was watching. Someone posted the match with Jay that Roman had when Jimmy made his return.
mhm.
You know, it was like standing over him saying like like pleading with Roman like to stop, and then Roman's crying pretty much. Like that whole you go back and watch that, dude. Like their acting is like top notch. These
That was
guys.
prime Roman. I keep
Yeah.
telling you, Thunderdome Roman was prime.
Thunderdome
Roman
Rome,
Reigns.
dude. Like that. He and then he like he's like kind of consoling Jimmy like, yeah, you're right. And then he just grabs him up in the freaking guillotine choke and just chokes him out too. Like that. It was that this storyline it just keeps getting better. I kind of don't want them to bring up the bloodline because like the stuff that they're doing, like just keep on teasing a breakup. Don't actually do it just yet. Just tease it. Little things here and there. Like I don't give a damn what because we haven't heard from Solo. Like he hasn't said anything yet. Like he's kind of like the quiet enforcer type. But then Jimmy, what does he have to say? Like he's kind of like hanging out with Sammy. He loves Sammy. You don't know if Solo does because he doesn't really smile or say anything. Paul Heyman's just like, whatever's gonna work. He doesn't have to talk as much because Sammy's kind of like that, like the wise man junior almost for the bloodline. But
how strange is it that with all of the talent involved, Roman, Sammy, Jay, Jimmy, Solo, the guy that is the least involved in this story is one of the greatest talkers of all time, one of the greatest minds in wrestling, Paul Heyman.
He's just I think he's the conductor.
Yeah.
He's just
if that.
He's the wise
I mean,
man. He's the wise man.
Yeah.
Right. But he just I feel like with such a name like Heyman, the fact that he isn't involved that much in the story, but it's still a fantastic story, speaks volumes to how good this is.
Well,
not
he did
to go over the top with this praise, but I think we sometimes we praise things a bit too far often, but this I think is warranted based on how much they've built up Roman, how much they've built up the bloodline, and where we're going here with Sammy. I don't know. I just don't think anything is touching this story right now.
Yeah, and I like the fact that Paul Heyman's almost like he doesn't have to talk. If you notice that, like with his character now in the bloodline, like even on Monday night when Roman Reigns was like, I'm not gonna hype this match up. I'm gonna let the wise man do it. And he hands him the mic, and like he was like surprised. He was like, "What? Oh, you want me to talk?" Like that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then even like it seems like he's even scared. Like that. Like if you ever watch his reactions when Sammy grabs the microphone and starts talking and trying to like cool things down, he's always like Heyman always has his hand over his mouth, like, "Oh my god, something bad's gonna happen," or like he's almost like scared to like even get involved with anything that has to do with them. Like even with the Logan Paul stuff when he's like showing him that video of him sparring and knocking people out and stuff like that. Like he was even scared to like bring that up to Roman. Like he's almost like he doesn't want to say anything. Like he doesn't want to like get Roman mad for some reason. It's like that's another like part of that dynamic is where yes, he is the wise man, but he doesn't really speak much anymore. Like he's kind of like scared to say anything because he knows Roman can like flip at any moment. So yeah,
this cameraman right here, this is my cameraman.
Brock Lesnar's face is hilarious. It's so smug. He's just like, really? That's your cameraman?
I don't know why we waited so long to get those Roman drops in there.
Cameraman. We gotta get that.
My cameraman.
We gotta get that walkaway promo that he cut on Monday Night Raw. We have to get parts of that.
True.
That he was going nuts on that one.
He was great on that too.
Levels above.
Well, we already talked about one interesting storyline on SmackDown. Let's dip into another interesting storyline because we had another Bray Wyatt promo last week. Saying all of the typical Bray Wyatt cryptic stuff. I like to hurt people, man, and I got the circle, man. And then all of a sudden we get another interrupting feed. Lights go out, and we get a nice video package and it reveals good old crazy Uncle Howdy.
I have an Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy's drunk again. Well, here he is. We found out more about Uncle Howdy, and we got our first look at him. If you saw our podcast cover on this episode, it's only Uncle Howdy because of the crazy visual that this is. And, you know, he says all the typical Bray Wyatt stuff that we've kind of just come to know at this point. But we get the reveal. You know, we had a news that there was a trademark of Uncle Howdy a few weeks ago. And this is where it comes in. There he is. If you're watching on the video.
That tear rolling down his eye right now, it reminds me of from that old 80s commercial with the Indian picking up the trash, or Native American, excuse me, picking up the trash, and they're like panning to him. He's got the rolling eye. That's what that reminds me of.
With a tear in my eye.
With a tear. With a tear. This is the greatest uncle.
I don't even know what to say about this stuff anymore. There's no way that we can predict any of this.
Yeah, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the ride, because I think it's going to get a lot weirder than we think. And I'm surprised. I'm not sure. I haven't seen this on social media, but does anyone else see Hulk Hogan at all in that get up there with the
a little bit, yes, but
Fu
Sam Roberts actually this week he kind of hit the
Uncle Howdy, brother.
He said it looks like Barry Windham a little bit. Like
I heard about
the face,
the stalker gimmick, Barry Windham.
Yeah, I can see that. But it's the blonde hair, the Fu Manchu.
Everyone's talking about Uncle Howdy, brother. What about Uncle Hollywood, dude?
Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy, he pressed that big nasty giant above his head, dude. He grabbed on
a sheep mask and a rocking chair, dude.
He grabbed onto the fins of a great white shark, dude.
I picked that big nasty fiend over my head, brother.
Oh God!
Yeah,
I took Donald Trump and I saved him from the funhouse, and we were swimming. I put him on my back, dude.
And we had the Georgia election box with us, dude.
Yeah, this is speculation. Who do you think it is? Because I see a lot of people. I think
it's Bray. I still
think it's Bray. I see it. People saying it was Bo because of the earring he was wearing. Because Bo had this like cross earring, and he's wearing the same one.
Daddy Dangly.
Yeah, I've seen Aleister Black.
No, it's not
because of that. Because of the one eye, the blue eye. The other one isn't.
Not Aleister
yeah.
Black.
So,
I mean, it could be Bo. I don't see it though. Like, I mean, we need more pieces of the puzzle for me to believe that it's Bo. But I see it as Bray. It's just another.
Yeah, I could see it being. I could see it being Bray, but also another person takes on that personality so that Bray can fight him. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point. Like, it's Bray's to me right now, the only thing that I can predict is the Wyatt Six are all not personalities of Bray, but just like sides or different characters in Bray's head that will come to life in the form of other wrestlers. That's all that I can think of. I think this is just a long story of Bray fighting his inner demons.
Sounds like I said that a couple weeks ago.
No, you're right. I think you're correct. I do think you are correct.
And I was right about the liar thing last week when Uncle Howdy came out and like, this dude's a liar. Don't listen to him. He's telling fibs, man. He doesn't really care about the fans, man.
Who killed the world, man?
Yeah, he
drink it in, man.
Yeah, he basically said, whatever he's saying out there about how much he loves you, he's lying. He's flat out lying.
This is Bray Wyatt's attempt at portraying Fletcher Reed in Liar Liar 2. I can't lie.
I mean, I don't know about it being anyone other than Bray, just because of the fact is it's like, if you bring in Bo Dallas, are you going to have him just play the Uncle Howdy character? Like, does he turn into Bo? Like, what are we doing here? That's the question. And I don't think you can predict this. That's why I keep saying anything that we say, we're wrong.
It's IRS.
Oh man, imagine if it is. That'd be cool. I'd be excited about that.
Yeah.
You gotta bring him back, man. Bring the whole family back.
Bring Arwen back. Come on, Arwen. Come on down.
Oh my god. Well, I think that's since we're already on the topic of Bray, I could bring this up here. Bray's going to be in attendance at Crown Jewel. What do you think that we get from Bray in being in attendance? Do we see Uncle Howdy? Do we see, is it just going to be another one of those cool entrants and then a video package? Something has to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. I can't. I have no prediction for what's going to happen.
I think this is where we see, I think this is where we find out what the angle is going forward. Because right now it's just going back and forth of, Bray's in person, then we get a video on the screen, and it's, it's good, but you can't keep doing that. You need something. I think Crown Jewel is where we still have to get through SmackDown. Of course, I think that's going to give some clarification on this Uncle Howdy type shit. I think you'll see him in person though, Uncle Howdy. Will it be Bray? Will it be Bo? I think that's a whole nother conversation. But I think you'll understand, it'll be easier for us to predict what's going to happen going forward after Crown Jewel.
It's going to be Howdy McGillibuddy.
Howdy McGillibuddy.
What if the War Games match is just all of Bray Wyatt's characters in a War Games match
against each other?
Yeah, against each other. That'd be pretty. Actually pulled the trigger on tickets, so I'll actually be in attendance.
Wow, look at you
at Survivor Series.
You'll be our field reporter.
War Games.
Well, I didn't originally have this in my plan, but since J-Bone, you mentioned
my bad,
a certain return, I might as well return another segment because I don't want to take too much time on this. Let's just get this out of the way.
Lightning round.
Whoa, we haven't done a lightning round in a minute.
Yeah,
I know, right? It's been a minute. We're going to do a lightning round on this because we have another. Oh, I technically have to play this one.
Welcome back.
Hello!
Welcome! Where the hell have you been? I'm back! Hello there. I'm back.
I'm going back to the big show.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
What did we used to do? 30 seconds for the lightning round, or was it a minute?
I need 10.
You need 10. Wow.
Marco, how much do you need?
10 minutes. I need actually
10 minutes. All right, we'll do a minute then.
Oh, jeez.
We'll do a minute per person. I don't even remember how much the lightning round was.
No, it was 20 seconds per person, wasn't it?
Or was it? Well, I have 30 here.
30 seconds.
And I haven't used my timer since the lightning round. So, we'll keep it at 30.
Do 30.
I don't think I need 30.
We'll do 30. J-Bone, you're going to take the least amount of time so you can start in 3, 2, 1.
What a fucking waste this was. If I'm Emma, honestly, I'm like kind of low-key pissed, to be honest with you. Like, you're gonna put me in that position as a comeback? Like, green jacket, gold jacket, who gives a shit? Done. Okay, I took 5 more seconds. I'm done.
But was this a good return?
No.
Like a surprise
this
return?
was absolutely the worst than Johnny Gargano.
Oh, yes. All right, finally.
Mainly because it was like just a squash match for her. Like, what does that do for her? Like, this is nothing.
Marco, I'll give you the floor on this one. You can start in 3, 2, 1.
I think J-Bone, laid it out as perfectly as he could. I mean, I'm glad that she's back employed, making money, but not sure if it was the best decision to put her in the ring with Ronda. That's it. That's all I have.
Done.
All right. I'll take up my 30 seconds in 3, 2. Ooh, just got a cramp in my hand picking up my microphone. In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, this wasn't good. Look, I think it's a trend for these returns for WWE that it's just a reintroduction to get them back on the roster, which I understand. Emma, let's not forget, is one of the best from the NXT. She was one of the original people, one of the OGs with Paige. She was great in the ring. But yeah, this wasn't a good way to bring her back. But let's just see where it goes from there. And there's the timer.
All right. What a great lightning round. Hey, take your
What
medicine.
a great guy.
You're a great guy.
Real quick, do you think Emma's going to be like an Impact player on SmackDown, or do you think she's
going to go back to Impact?
She might have she'll be on NXT. Probably. I'm hoping they do need more bodies on SmackDown, so maybe she will. I'm telling you, mid-card title or something.
Like, they couldn't even give her old theme too. Like, they bring her back with the "It's all about me."
Yeah,
I'm expecting to hear.
Well, she wasn't that character when she got released, right?
And she had the weird gloves too, like that
yeah.
barely fit her hands.
She had the OJ glove that doesn't really go on.
Yeah, that's perfect.
She's like,
if the glove don't fit, you just gotta quit.
Should quit.
All right. Well, let's get back into these predictions. We got 4 more matches left to go, and we'll start off with a match that I don't know has, in recent weeks kind of changed some opinions on Judgment Day lately on both sides. And now, of course, the OC gets involved as AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and the never openweight champion Carl Anderson go up against the Judgment Day in Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio. I feel like we're at the point where every week we just have to do like our Judgment Day recap. Like, how are we feeling about this group? Because there's some weeks where we like them. There's some weeks that we don't.
Oh, Jimmy Quicket, I did it again. Sour Boy's back.
How can you not like Sour Boy? I mean, come on.
Sour Boy's hilarious.
Oh, Jimmy Quicket, I did it again.
Jake, what are your thoughts on Judgment Day? How are they doing this feud? How have they been?
They're doing better, but I still don't like there's something about it I just don't like. Like, it's like the presentation I just still don't like about it. It's still too Spirit Halloween for me. Like,
yeah, I agree.
It's I do like the Dominic storyline a little bit more, a little bit, Damian Priest, I like the guy, but he's just been getting on my nerves lately. Not in a good way. Like, more like in a go away heat kind of way. Finn's been elevated. I don't know what it is. It's just like get off my TV. I'm just, Finn. I do have to say this is elevated Finn.
Yeah.
And it's elevated Dominic. Certainly has elevated Dominic.
Yeah.
and I'm sorry, Rhea as well too. But they're going up a strong force in California. What was the main guy's name? Brody something.
Brody. Was it
Anyways.
Brody Jenner?
Maybe so. I don't know. Anyways, another guy from Mr. Deeds was in it too.
California.
Marco, how have you been feeling about the feud? And you might as well just give us your prediction.
I don't mind it. I like I said, I like the fact that they're all. I think I talked about this last week. I like the fact that they're all they all know each other. You know, Finn being the original Bullet Club, the creator, the OG, the real OG of the Bullet Club, and he has been really, really good at showcasing that. If it wasn't for me, you guys wouldn't be here, or any of you. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge to everyone else in the wrestling industry that bears the Bullet Club name. But I've been enjoying it. I think he's gotten better on his mic work too. Finn Balor, and yeah, I like the storyline, dude. I think they do need to change the gimmick up a little bit for Judgment Day. Get rid of the purple lighting and all. I don't think they need that anymore. Just not make it like DX but just where they should just have regular gear, not anything no matching gear and that type of shit. Just change it up a little bit, make it more because they seem like they're supposed to be cool, they're kind of I don't want to say NWO / DX type of vibe. So I
don't get that at all.
No, I think that's what they're trying to go for. That type of thing. They're these cool group of people or whatever. They're
a bunch of dorks to me.
Bunch of nerds. I'm surprised they haven't pulled that one out yet.
But yeah, like I said, I don't hate it. And I think Judgment Day wins.
Who takes the pinfall? No, that's not.
I'm gonna go Gallows.
Gallows.
Yeah.
All right. This is another. Just I don't know where to go.
It's hard.
On this one. I'm gonna give it to the OC because I really don't know where they're going with Judgment Day. I feel like you bring back a group like Gallows and Anderson, you need to give them a win. You can't immediately have them, start losing. But I don't know. Judgment Day's taken so many losses at this point, and they've been doing fine. Might as well take another one.
No,
so I'll give it to OC wins, and you know what? Just for J-Bone, I'll say Damien takes the pin.
Damn, Damien.
Damn, Damien.
I am gonna go with the Judgment Day.
Wow.
I think they do have this is gonna be part of their momentum swing up.
Yeah.
Turning of a new leaf is J-Bone.
And I think who gets the pinfall? Oh, Jimmy Quicket. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to leave my shoulders down on the mat for 3 seconds. My bad. Carl Anderson. Okay, sorry, boy.
Oh, my God.
Also, that might be another reason for, Anderson picking. I don't know if he picked Crown Jewel over New Japan, but maybe they swayed him by, getting a win this weekend. Could be another thing to think about.
Possible.
Not part of my reasoning.
Or he got his first check. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Saw all those O's.
Yeah.
Ow, face.
So those OCs.
Oh.
Well, another divided pick for us is this 6-man tag. Should be a good match. I'm expecting it to be a good match, but we got to move on. It's fine. Something that's not fine is going to be this one: Braun Strowman and Omos going up against each other. The immovable object versus the immovable object.
Yawn.
Yeah. Yawn.
Did you say
Yawn
Braun or
Strowman.
Yawn?
No, Yawn.
It's Yawn Strowman. That's who it is.
Yawn
Yawn
Strowman.
Borg.
Has anyone come up with that yet?
Yawn Borg.
It's Yawn Strowman and Bormo. Try.
He tried it. He tried it.
It sounded better in my head.
Did you hear the Omos has like a cult following on Twitter, like a cult fan base.
Of course.
You know what the fans are calling themselves? Homo sapiens.
Oh my god.
Homo sapiens.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Braun to win this match. Just based off of that right there. Actually, let me take it back. I am gonna go with Omos. I think
Jesus, you're just trying to lose this opportunity at a title, aren't you, bud?
No, I think he's good. He's a good way to get him the dubs.
Well, we're in Saudi Arabia, so the taller guy wins, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
all
giants.
It's all depending on who the prince wants to win. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
true. He probably wants Andre the Giant.
Where's Yokozuna at?
They're gonna make Braun come out in Andre's one strap singlet.
Oh my god!
The Prince was probably like, "All right, we want the Undertaker, we want Andre, and we want the Ultimate Warrior."
Omos is gonna come out in Giant Gonzalez gear. Look at the bush on that one.
Yeah. I'll give it to Braun. They're in Saudi Arabia. I mean, after all, he won the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Maybe he brings out the title. Yeah, just a nice win for the crowd. Obviously, this match is just done because it fits that demographic. Like it does huge numbers on YouTube. There's a lot of interest there for it, so you might as well give the babyface the win. I'm gonna pick Braun. Go ahead, Marco.
Yeah. As much as it pains me, I want to go Omos, but I feel like this is just they brought Braun Strowman back to win matches and be like a main event, not a main event guy, but one of their impact players.
He's gonna get these hands.
Yeah, so what better way is him to slay a giant? Put that nasty giant over his head.
Well, you know something, Mean Gene.
Oh wait, no. Well, nowadays,
well, you know something, KP.
Yeah.
Happy shiny people.
They call him KP. You hear Corey Graves. What do you think about that, KP? Told you, good old KP.
They call him KP?
Yeah, they call him KP. That's what Corey Graves calls him KP.
I want JBL on there. Oh, my guy KP. Let me tell you something.
I am shocked. I'm picking Braun Strowman, but sidebar, I am totally shocked that they gave JBL a live mic.
Ever?
With the stuff that he's saying like nowadays. Yeah,
I missed.
Did you see that promo we cut on Monday? About he got a little political. I thought they were gonna edit it, but he didn't. They didn't edit it at all. They may have done.
Is he still doing his podcast with Briscoe and Bradshaw, or has he just stopped that because he's with WWE now?
Does he still do Bulls and Bears on Fox News every Saturday morning?
I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, he's with Tyrus now. I think they're going to do their own
stuff. And Greg Gutfield.
New show coming to Fox News. It's a roundtable. Tucker Carlson, Tyrus, and JBL.
Oh boy,
what a show!
That'll put butts in seats.
Yeah, give it to Braun. We're gonna give it to Braun on this one, but J-Bone's gonna give it to Omos somehow.
He's going to go to the king of Saudi Arabia, and he's going to kick some ass.
I'm going in for real, y'all.
Monster of all.
I'm going to put Omos in an ambulance. I'm going to tip it off of the fucking Riyadh Stadium. That's what I do.
Yikes.
Jesus. Anyways, moving on. We've got the second women's match on the card. Bianca Belair
Ladies.
takes on Bayley for the Raw Women's Championship. This is we had the match at Extreme Rules. Bianca won in the ladder match. Bayley defeated Bianca on Raw.
Yep.
Of course, with the Nikki Cross, interjection.
Yep.
And here we are on their third match. And I'll start us off on this one. And new Raw Women's Champion. I think we're seeing Bayley take that title off of Bianca. It only makes sense. I mean, you take the titles off of Damage Control, Io, and Dakota. You need to compensate for that somehow.
Yep.
Although I would rather just have all the titles on them. Maybe we get to that point in the future. For now, I'm fine with just giving the women's title to Bayley. Why not? Bianca's held the title on for a good amount of time now. You might as well give it to Bayley while you have the chance to, with them not completely killing off Damage Control. If she loses this weekend, Damage Control is going to be in some tough shit. So that's why I'm going to give it to Bayley. Marco, go ahead.
They're going to definitely be in some Damage Control if she does lose. Badooms.
Well, that ain't a knee slapper, buddy.
Thank you, Brock. I'm gonna go with Bayley as well. They're gonna pull out all the she's gonna pull all the stops to make Bianca stay down for that 10 count. So it's just time for her to take that title. Bianca's had her long reign, and we have War Games coming up too as well, so that might play into it. We're not sure what that looks like as far as the War Games matches, so they could still because it's kind of like a rubber match. It's they each have a win off of each other. I say this is a blow off match for me anyway. So I think Bayley.
Well, it technically is because they had the match a couple weeks ago. So
so I say Bayley walks out with that strap. Come heck or high water, she walks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bayley.
Oh, all right. Look at us. A lot of agreement on this episode. I don't like it.
How does it? So let's do this. Since we're trying to come up with a question, like a tiebreaker.
Sure.
How does Bayley? How does she win?
Does Damage Control get involved?
Does Damage Control get involved? And what means does she use? Because we've seen someone tipping over an announce table on someone. Does she pile up, a bunch of stuff on top of her so she doesn't what ways can she win? Or which way does she win if she does win?
I think I got something. And you know what?
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
I think Bayley is going to win this weekend. And I think we see a new member of Damage Control being added to the group. I don't know who.
Emma.
Maybe Emma.
Chelsea Green.
Maybe Candice.
Oh.
Chelsea Green. I think Candice because, she Bayley and the two of them attacked Candice. They were like, you have no one else. Maybe Candice is like, all right, fuck it. I'll join you guys then. And
that's the fourth member, which because there's four. So War Games matches, right? It's 4-on-4, right? Or is it 5-on-5? 4-on-4, right? So it would be obviously Bianca, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and then insert
Nikki Cross.
Nikki Cross.
Thank you very much, and I will see you at War Games.
Yeah, I think that's probably happening. Yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed with myself on that one.
Watch You're a great guy.
What a great predictor I am.
So how are you? So how does she winning?
How does she lose? How does
how does Bianca lose?
The new member.
I don't know. I guess the new member somehow interferes.
Okay.
I'm going with I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I'm going with damage control. Damage control holding Bianca Belair down so she can't get up. Just something under, like they're hiding under the ring, and she's trying to stand up, and they're holding her so she can't actually get to her feet, or something like that. Something silly that we haven't seen before.
I think they're gonna bring out the cuffs, brother.
Ooh, okay. I like that. That's a go-to.
They're gonna like cuff her feet to the like a ring post or something, or some apparatus
where she can't stand up because she has to get on her feet, mind you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right, I like that.
All different ways that. So I think we can all agree that it won't be a clean victory.
No, it's
conclusion.
Ding dong, young Anthony.
Ding dong, hello. But we are all in agreement that Bayley is going over this weekend. And we have just one more match to get to. A match that may come down to one lucky shot. It's Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul.
Oh, look at those studs.
WWE Universal Heavyweight Unified Championship of the world. Marco, I mean, you have said the most about this match. Why don't you take the reins?
What do you mean? Oh, because I was excited.
What do I mean? If you look in our group chats, you can see what I mean. But why don't you take the reins on this one?
I mean,
pun intended. And give us your prediction, bud.
So the rumor mills is there's going to be another Paul joining the.
I think
RuPaul.
Yeah.
Work, go, work it now.
Man, that'd be awesome. Oh my God, is that?
God, that's RuPaul.
It's RuPaul.
Imagine Kevin Patrick on the call for that one. RuPaul Charles is in the building here in Rio.
Oh, that'd be so
She's
great.
looking fabulous.
RuPaul just runs in and gives freaking Roman Reigns a spear or something like that, or a Superman punch. All right.
Actually said that there was gonna be another Paul.
You did say that. You did say that. Jake Paul.
Fucking ideas.
You did
every fucking week. Why do I even bring stuff up?
rumors are running wild, brother. That Jake Paul's gonna be in attendance at the Crown Jewel. So, man, there's a lot of people for some reason that think Logan Paul is walking out of.
Oh my God!
Have you seen this? Have you seen these? Have you seen these? Like
happy shiny people.
Yeah. If they're gonna shock people, I mean, they'll definitely do it. They want eyes on the product, and if they can pull that off, I mean, man. And he did say he wants to face The Rock at WrestleMania, Logan Paul. So
do I.
With all that being said, yeah, come on. He's not winning the title. Roman Reigns, he's gonna smash him. He's gonna smash Jake Paul. He's gonna smash, like whatever.
I'm gonna take Logan Paul. I'm gonna smash Logan Paul. I'm gonna take Jake Paul. I'm gonna smash Jake Paul. I'm gonna take RuPaul. I'm gonna smash RuPaul.
Chris Paul, whoever wants to come in.
I'm gonna smash
Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd. You want these things?
Paul Rudd. I'm gonna smash Paul Rudd.
Paulie Shore. Whatever Pauls want to come down to the ring.
Paulie D from Jersey Shore. I'm gonna smash Paulie D. Paul Heyman want to get in the ring? I'm gonna smash Paul Heyman.
Not Paul Heyman, not the wise man.
Oh my God, that was great.
Too many Pauls.
He's gonna smash them both. He's gonna stack them both.
Okay, well, answer me this: how does he win?
I mean, definitely the Bloodline gets involved. I'm assuming here's what I'm thinking that's going to happen. I'm not sure if it's going to be like it's probably going to be a major pay-per-view or a major premium live event, I should say. The Pauls versus the Usos is going to happen. If Jake Paul shows up at Crown Jewel, they are going to do a Usos versus the Pauls tag team match. That's happening. I'm going to get that out of the way. The way he wins is Solo. I think Solo gets involved. He's the one that he's that enforcer. I think, if Jake does show up, the Usos get occupied with Jake or whatever, and then Solo helps Roman with the or retain his title, which is kind of weird because actually, you know what? Yeah, I mean, there has to be that's how they do it, though. I mean, is he going to beat him clean? Probably, but there's going to be outside shenanigans happening. I mean, will they get directly involved in the match? Probably not. But
what we'll see is, because I don't think you can do a lot of shenanigans to protect Roman, because technically he should just be winning this clean.
Right? Yeah.
So I think what it will be is Jake Paul is the equalizer to the Usos.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe he does like a top, jump off the top rope and, lands on all of the bloodline. And then that opens the door for it just to be one-on-one. And then Logan Paul puts up a really good fight, but Roman wins in the end. And I think it's going to be what I mentioned it a few weeks ago, that this is going to be, maybe Roman shows respect to Logan Paul for putting up a good fight. He gets that kind of, applause from the crowd kind of moment, and that legitimizes him in WWE's eyes. Or the complete opposite happens, the same situation, but the crowd just starts booing Logan Paul, and that's where you see an official heel turn for him.
Yeah.
Either way, I do think that we'll see Roman win convincingly with no outside interference, and something will legitimize Logan Paul. The fan reaction will legitimize Logan Paul.
So how does Roman win?
Clean. Spear. I don't know.
You got pin?
Oh, pin. Yeah.
And you said pin?
You know what? I'm gonna go with choke. I think he's gonna choke him out.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Shit.
I don't think he's gonna want to pin him. I think he's gonna want to.
That's what I was gonna say too.
I think he's gonna grab him in that guillotine and he's gonna choke him until he passes out. And then Jake's probably gonna jump in and try
they'll go with the whole Logan never tapped out. So that
Logan never got pinned. He never tapped out. Okay.
All right. I'll sacrifice that.
Well, anyways, no, you're good. We'll just wipe that one clean, so we won't worry about that.
Yeah.
So
Right,
Roman, everybody, because I was gonna actually say that too. So, so we're good. All right.
Was there any bonus questions that we wanted to throw in, like I don't know, a return or debut or something? Is Sasha and Naomi coming out?
Is there gonna be Is there gonna be a return or debut? Yes or no?
No.
Man, Saudi shake. It's a possibility, man. Because that last Crown Jewel was freaking. That was one of their best shows last year. They might have something planned for this year. Who knows? They might get a Taker appearance.
Which Saudi show?
The Crown Jewel last year. There was a Crown Jewel.
It was pretty good. It was with Goldberg and
Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins and Edge in that Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
How do you forget that? That was the best show. It was a highlight show for me anyway.
Been a year
Happy
already.
shiny people.
No, KP wasn't there.
Yeah, KP wasn't there. Everything before the KP era started, just wiped it from my mind.
Oh, I mean,
which is fair.
He's like the
Men in Black. Hate it.
He's like the Men in Black memory eraser thingy.
Yeah. The good guys dressed in black. Remember that.
No debuts, no returns. I think we're at the point where you don't need them.
I'm going to say yes, there is one.
Oh yeah, who?
Do I get a bonus point?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Chelsea Green.
I would go with Chelsea Green. The only thing is, she's supposed to be fighting at an NWA show. I'm not sure when.
Not this weekend.
Right, not this weekend, but
it's next weekend. Actually, it's actually in New Orleans. I'm thinking about going to it, but
look at you. Does that take her out of the equation though? Like, she can still just show up, but she has a match scheduled.
Oh.
Yeah.
Depends on the depends on our contract and if
I don't know.
See, I'm helping you out on this one, J-Bone.
But I still think there's gonna be a return. So yes.
All right, I'll give you that. Marco?
A return
or debut, should I say?
Return or debut. No, I don't see anyone returning or debuting.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yep. Well, we were gonna do who won the week, but I think are we all in agreement? SmackDown won the week.
Oh
yes.
Pretty
easily, if I
might
add.
Even with Emma's return, they won the.
Oh my god!
What do you mean, pal? That was the moment of the week right there.
Last few weeks were all been like really hard to get through. I'm not gonna lie.
I almost gave the edge to Raw because of that Roman Reigns promo.
Yeah, that was good.
And when he was in ring and when he was walking out of the ring.
Yeah,
he's like, "I've run all of this."
Was there a QR code this week on Raw for Bray?
I didn't see one.
I didn't see that.
Huh. Interesting. I know Howdy's going to be on. They're going to do something on SmackDown for him, so that should be interesting. But regardless, I think it's time to wrap up the show.
Oh, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
You were quick on that one. I pressed the button. I was like, fuck, that's the wrong one.
You could have done
that was good. Anyway.
Hey, yo.
It's time to end this show. Folks, thank you so much for watching or listening or both to another edition of the Rawdown. J-Bone, what's going on in the world of Coming Down the Aisle?
Coming Down the Aisle. You can head over to comingdowntheaislepod.com and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the podcast. Of course, help a brother out with that. But this week I've got the one and the only brother-in-law extraordinaire. My own brother-in-law is going on. Sammy, I call him Sammy Snakes. That's his name. His name's Sam. We just have a hilarious discussion. Kind of a double header of what we're watching this week. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll show them the Sammy Roman promo, and he is a Latch fan. He hasn't watched it in a while, so you get to hear his live reaction. But also his match that he brought this week was Say Hello to the Bad Guy versus Shawn Michaels. Ladder match, WrestleMania 10. So
nice.
I was surprised nobody ever picked that match too. So
wow, yeah. Interesting. Well, I'm excited to check out that one. Marco, what's going on with Chick Foley?
Kind of went on hiatus this week. I didn't have a new open mic. We didn't know no Pod Warriors this week, but
I think there is Pod Warriors, huh?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. Was there Pod Warriors?
It's coming out. Yeah, I think
it's not. Anyway, but yeah, pretty much silent week this week. We have some stuff lined up in the coming weeks. Definitely, I know on my end with open mic, I have a few guests. You might know for next week. You might know these gentlemen. They kind of created the show pretty much. So the two bad Chads will be on open mic. I'm going to have them both on together.
Nice.
Talk about everything because we kind of alluded to it on when I was on the debate a couple weeks back. Kind of asked them, hey, come on the show and let's get your story out there. So got them coming up. Got a few more guests lined up in the next couple of weeks. So excited about that. And look out for the Pod Warriors. Obviously, chickfoley.com. That'll give you pretty much everything that's going on. Facebook group, all the socials where you can find us at. It gives you all the links to the podcasts. Like I said, my show's it's only 6 episodes, so go back and listen to the archives. I mean, definitely the latest one with the extra cooler was really awesome.
That was good. That was really good.
Told a story about how he pretty much created the Ecto Cooler drink. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm like who's a good interviewer nowadays that gets stuff out of people?
Renee Paquette.
Yeah, so I'm like a Renee, minus the good looks. and soothing voice. But I can get some stuff out of people. You know.
I say you're good looking. You're a good looking.
Oh, thank you, J-Bone. But yeah, check us out. We're everywhere, pal. We're just we do our thing. It's coming up on the end of the year, so look out for the chickies.
Oh,
the annual chickies will be popping up. So yeah, that's all I got, pals.
Looking good, boys. Looking real good. Have you ever seen the Cafe de Rene? Shout out to Cafe de Rene, by the way.
Yes.
Paul London, the Michael Hayes story. It's one of my favorite podcast stories. Looking good, boys. Looking real good. Shout out to James. He's killing it over there. Man, awesome stuff. And Renee, of course. But I mean, kind of quiet on my end. Independent Epicenter still running strong. Next week, the Unconquered Cup for Invictus Pro Wrestling to crown their first ever grand champion. It is a tournament, 8 participants, but only one will be the champion. Who will it be? Also, just a quick shout out to We Are Wrestling, which is another company local here in New York, New Jersey. They have their next show tomorrow. Welcome to the Bronx. It is their first Bronx show. Definitely, if you're in the area, check it out. I'm not exactly sure where you can stream it. I'll have to check with.
I was about to ask if there's on IWTV.
Yeah, it might be. I'll have to look, but it'll be a good show regardless. You can check out Invictus on IWTV though.
Yeah.
That'll be a good show next week. So
I
definitely check it out.
I like IWTV. It's pretty fun.
It's a good platform for sure. So regardless, follow me on Indie Epicenter or don't. Doesn't really matter.
Goddamn, pal.
It doesn't. I mean, I post like once a show. But anyways, with that all out of the way, folks, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Rawdown. If you like what you heard, and I know that you did, make sure that you check out theturnbuckletavern.com for all of your podcast goodness. Listen to the episodes, watch the videos, tune into the streams, follow the socials, and buy the merch. Do everything that you need to join our community, because we just hit 1,000 subscribers, which I don't think is being talked enough here on the Tavern. We hit 1,000 subscribers for the Turnbuckle Tavern. Thank you to all who have contributed, and if you haven't already, there's still time to do so. Drop a sub, leave a like, drop a comment, let us know what you think. Goes a long way. Goes a long, long way, more than you think. I mentioned it, and I'll mention it again. I always mention it. Merch. ProWrestlingTees.com/tavern. Got the Hollywood Tony shirt, your Boney Shivani shirt, your MVP Marco shirt. Everyone's got a shirt here. You need to get one of everyone. Why don't you? Or just, you can get a Young Anthony shirt and call it a day. But get a shirt. It helps us out. Teespring is another option to get you some merch. You can get your, at Teespring, the turnbuckletavern.com. Get your Rawdown logo on the merch. Mr. Backlash. We got to figure out a new Rawdown shirt. I feel like we've come up with some good, maybe a Roman shirt. We need like a variation of a Roman shirt.
That's my Rawdown.
That's my
t-shirt. That's my Rawdown.
That t-shirt, that's my t-shirt.
Happy shiny people.
Happy shiny people. That's another good one. We'll get on that with some ideas. And finally, well, if you have any ideas for t-shirts, see what I did with that little transition, you can call the Tavern and let us know at 304-404-2004. Hear your message played on the Flagship show. Flagship had a great episode yesterday. Hawk was on it. Tom was on it. It was a good time. You can call the Tavern to leave us a voicemail. Let us know what you're thinking about the Rawdown. It's been a while since we've gotten some feedback on the show, and it always helps. 304-404-2004 is the number to call. Once again, 304-404-2004. Get your message heard. Thank you for tuning in to a very jam-packed edition of the Rawdown. We will see you next week. with the results of the predictions.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah, they keep it. Yep. You get it.
Took me a second. I'm sure I'll be holding on to this championship. There it is. Let me hold on to it. There it is.
More likely not,
I'll be holding on to that next week. But until then,
Life sucks, and then you die.